Namaste and welcome to today's beginner's yoga class. We're going to start off just by warming up some of the joints and then we're going to jump straight into a flow. So we're going to start in a standing position today and we're going to go into Tadasana. So your feet can either be your toes touching together, or sometimes for women it's a bit more comfortable just due to the anatomy of our bodies to have our feet hip width apart. Ground down through all four corners of the feet. So try actually lifting the toes and you'll notice that the arches of the feet and the kneecaps lift. And you'll notice that all four corners of the feet now are really connected, they're really grounding down. And then just try putting your toes from the outside toe to the inside down on the mat, very slowly, one at a time. This really helps to ground, it really helps us to find that connection and that stability. Then, engaging the legs, the kneecaps are lifted, tilt the tailbone, the pelvis under very slightly, and then open up through the chest, reach down through the fingertips, palms facing forward, lift through the crown of the head and tuck the chin very slightly to Tadasana. And just take a few moments here, take a few breaths to arrive on the mat, to arrive here to this practice and to leave behind anything that you've accumulated during the day. This time is just for you to practice. Leave everything else behind. And then you can bring the fingertips, the hands to the hips and take a very slight bend in the left knee. And whenever you're ready, not taking it too seriously, if you wobble, you wobble. Just hover your left foot out in front of you and start to make some circles with the ankle. So as you inhale, slowly come up and back, and as you exhale, point the toes away from you, round in circles, very slowly. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Turn them around in the other direction now, okay? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Well done. Bring that foot back down and just notice how it feels, okay, after being off balance and being off center. Close your eyes for a second as you ground back down through the feet and just notice how it feels to return to center. Because the more we do this in our practices and within our bodies, the more we can learn to recognize in life when we're off center and bring it back to center. Take a slight bend in the right knee. Hover the foot forward, remembering not to take ourselves too seriously. If we fall, we fall. Some days are better than others. And as you inhale, bring the ankle back. And as you exhale, point the toes forward, round in circles. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, smile. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now circle in the other direction. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, bring the foot back to the mat. Again, just take a moment to close your eyes and notice how it feels to come back to center. Then bringing the hands out in front of you, fingertips pointing up. As you inhale, this is your position. You're going to flex the wrists. And as you exhale, the other direction. So point the fingertips down and bend at the wrists. Inhale. Exhale. Very slowly. Inhale. Exhale. Spread the fingertips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands back to your inhale position and then rotate the hands out so that the fingertips are now pointing away from each other. This is your inhale position, and as you exhale, bend at the wrists and point your fingertips towards each other. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Shake the wrists out and then bring the fingertips to the shoulders. So bend in the elbows, fingertips to the shoulders, and then lift through the elbows. And as you inhale, bring the elbows together in front of you, and as you exhale, circle them around and back. So really big circles. Inhale, see if you can touch them. If you can't, that's fine. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now rotate them the other way. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can widen your circle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now come back to center. And then I want you to inhale forward. Exhale. Open through the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now as you exhale, stay here and hold. Push back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open through the chest. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Shake it out. Well done. Now we're going to come to the tops of our mat. And we're going to start off with a few sun salutations. So for the first round on each side, I'm going to talk through them quite slowly. I'm going to explain how to do them properly. And then as we go through a few more rounds, I'll start to talk a little bit less and just give you the prompt for the movement. Sun salutations is, it's a great way to warm up the full body, but also it's a great way to just really get into the moment, get into the flow, into the rhythm, into the practice. It's like a moving meditation. Once you know the sequence, you can just kind of go with it, and it really helps us to connect. So coming to the top of your mat, we're going to start off by, as you inhale, reach the arms up and bring them together into a prayer position, Namaste Mudra. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, open through the chest, the back is straight, the the palms of the hands come to the shins. As you exhale, fold forward, and you can plant the hands onto the mat to prepare. Then as you inhale, step back with your left leg, and as you exhale, the right leg comes back to meet it, and your knees, chin and chest all come down to the mat at the same time. Untuck the toes, and as you inhale, press through the palms of the hands. The elbows are tucked in towards the body, and just lift through the crown of the head and lift the chest forward. Low cobra. Then as you exhale, tuck the toes under, lift through the hips back into downward dog. Inhale, step through with the left leg, and as you exhale, the right leg comes to meet it. Inhale, rise up, lift the arms back into prayer position, and exhale, the hands come to heart center. That's one sun salutation. We're going to do the other side now. So inhale, reach up through the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, step back with the right leg. Exhale, the left leg comes to meet it, and on the same exhale, your knees, chin and chest all come down to the mat together, making sure your elbows are tucked in and close to the body. You then untuck the toes, and as you inhale, lift through the crown of the head, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips back, downward dog. Inhale, the right foot comes forward, step it through. Exhale, the left foot comes to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, hands come into prayer position above you. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to go again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back with the left foot. Exhale, right foot comes to meet it, knees, chin, chest to the ground. Untuck the toes, inhale, reach up through the crown of the head, low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push the hips back, downward dog. Inhale, step forward with the left foot. Exhale, the right foot comes to meet it. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold and plant the hands. Inhale, step the right leg back. Exhale, left leg comes to meet it, knees, chin, chest to the ground. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, step through with the right foot. Exhale, the left foot comes to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise up, prayer position above the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to go one more time on each side here. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Make this into a meditation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, following the breath. Inhale, the left leg steps back. Exhale, right foot comes to meet it, knees, chin, chest to the ground. Untuck the toes. Inhale, low cobra. Tuck the toes, exhale, lift the hips back, downward dog. Inhale, the left foot steps forward. Exhale, the right foot comes to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, hands come to a prayer position, look up towards the hands. Exhale, bring them to heart center. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and plant the hands. Inhale, step back with the right foot. Exhale, left foot comes to meet it, knees, chin, chest come to the ground. Tuck the toes, inhale, low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, step the right leg through. Exhale, the left leg comes to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, lift up through the arms, look up towards the fingertips as they meet in prayer position. And as you exhale, bring them back to heart center, keeping the eyes closed, and take a few moments here just to notice how that feels in your body. Now as you inhale, lift the arms up again, prayer position above the head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step the left leg back, but this time we're going to rise up. So raise the arms up in front of you, taking a bend in the front right knee still, and then pivot on the back foot and plant the back foot down. So you're no longer on the ball of your back foot, okay? The foot is down and it's pointed kind of towards the corner instead of straight in front or directly out to the side. And then you're going to look over the front foot. So it's quite a long stance here, it's quite a wide stance. And you're going to take your hands onto your hips and turn them towards the top of your mat. Now it's not accessible for everyone, okay? So I don't mean get them perfectly both facing the top of your mat and in line with each other, but just do the best you can, okay? It's just to make a conscious decision to turn in that direction. Your front knee should be stacked over your front ankle. The arms reach up and the arms should be shoulder width apart. Relax the shoulders, so make sure that they're not bunched up around the ears. And this is Vera 1. Stay here. Now turning towards the long side of your mat and opening up through the arms. You can adjust the back foot slightly if you need to get into this position comfortably. Your front foot should be in line with the center of your back foot. Again, your knee needs to be over your front ankle, so it is quite a long stance here. It's not easy. Make sure that the tailbone is tucked under, so you know we're not surfing like this. The tailbone is tucked under. The arms come out like this. So stretch the arms away from each other and look over those front fingertips. Vera 2. Just breathe. Now begin to straighten that front knee. Take a step in with the back foot so that you're actually in more of a triangle or pyramid position with the legs, okay? And then keeping the arms like this, you can turn so that the palms are facing forward and reach forward as far as you can, hinging at the hips, and then begin to spin your right arm down towards the ground. Now it can either come to your shin here, it can come to the ankle, it can come to the ground. But what's important is to make sure that you're not leaning forward like this in order to get down there. So you need to stay in line with the lower half of your body. And wherever you're at, just be there and breathe. Trikonasana. Feeling a beautiful stretch here in the side body. Breathe into that space. Now gently, slowly come back up. Bend again in the front knee. And we're just going to step to the tops of our mat, facing forward. Take a few seconds here, again to ground, to find your center, to notice how that feels. And as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and plant the hands. Inhale, step back. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, reach the arms up, rise up. And then you can pivot on the back foot. So you're not on the ball of the back foot. You're planting the back foot down. It's in a kind of 45-degree angle. Your front knee is over your front ankle. Again, turning the hips towards the top of the mat the best you can. Reaching up through the arms. They should be shoulder width apart. Looking towards the top of your mat. For your one, take a few breaths here. Now opening up towards the long side of your mat, tucking the tailbone under, making sure that your left knee is still over the left ankle. You can adjust the back foot slightly if needed. Stretch the fingertips away from each other and look over those front fingertips. Noticing the difference between when you do the left and right sides and just seeing how that feels in your body. Noticing if one side is more difficult than another. Just becoming aware of our own body. Now begin to straighten through that front leg. Take a good step in so that your feet and your legs are in more of a triangle position rather than a much longer stance. And begin to reach forward through the front fingertips as far as you can go, hinging at the hips. And then you can begin to bring that left hand down towards either your shin, your ankle, or the mat. Again, opening through the chest. Make sure that you're not leaning or curling forward. And breathing space into the side body here. Beautiful stretch of the right hand side. Begin to straighten back up. Bend in the front knee and step towards the top of the mat. Now straight away we're just going to bend at the knees, come down onto the mat and straight down onto our backs here. Just taking a moment as you get down on the mat to ground, rolling the shoulders back to make sure that they're pressed into the mat, they're grounded down, and that the shoulders aren't rounded forward. Just take a few seconds here. And now taking a bend in the right knee, and the sole of the right foot comes to the mat. You can then lift the left leg, bend the left knee and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Then once you're in that position, you can just gently push the left knee away from you slightly so that it comes at kind of a right angle. And just noticing how that feels. Can you feel a good stretch in the hip here? And then beginning to lift the right leg towards you. So you should be feeling a really nice stretch here. If you have tight hips or you're not used to this, you should be feeling a really nice stretch along the outside of your left hip and your left thigh and your left glute. You can clasp the hands behind the right thigh, but make sure that your left knee isn't collapsing in here. Do you know, it's still kind of pushed away at a right angle. And just drawing the right leg in towards you to really get that stretch, that deep hip stretch in the left hip. Breathing into the areas of discomfort. And you'll know yourself when it's too much for your body, okay? So don't push yourself too far. Just know your limits. Know the difference between pushing yourself to get the deep stretch and actually doing harm, okay? It's about learning to tune into our own bodies, use our intuition. And if you'd like to stay here, then that's absolutely fine. Or else you can begin to straighten the right leg, and instead of clasping your hands behind the thigh, you can actually clasp your hands or take a hold of the right calf. Again, just going that little bit deeper into the stretch on your left hip. This is a really good hip opener. And noticing as you're holding this position, are you holding tension anywhere else in your body? If your jaw is clenched, relax it. If your shoulders are bunched up, relax them. This is about creating space. Release the right leg. Bring the right foot back down to the mat. And then releasing the left leg and bringing the left foot down to the mat. We're going to do the same now on the other side. So lift the right leg up. Cross the right foot over the left knee. And just gently, very gently, push the right knee away from you slightly so that it's at a kind of right angle to the body. So your knee's not collapsing in like this, okay? And you might be feeling a nice strip hitch, I was going to say, hip stretch here. But if you'd like to take it that little step further, then follow me, and you can clasp your hands behind the left thigh, drawing the left thigh in closer towards the body and really feeling now a beautiful stretch, a beautiful opening in the right hip. And then listening to your own body and noticing if this is enough for you, then stay here. If you'd like to take it that little bit further, you can straighten the left leg, draw it closer in towards you, and actually take a hold of that left calf. Making sure the right knee still stays pushed away from you, it's not collapsing in. And just noticing any areas of tension in the body and working to consciously release them and breathe into those areas. Releasing the left leg, bringing it back to the mat. Releasing the right leg, bringing it back to the mat. And just even give the legs a little shake. And just notice if there was any difference between the left and the right sides. Now, while your knees are bent and the soles of the feet are on the ground, towards the buttocks, but they don't have to be touching, leave a little bit of space there. Bring the arms down and the hands down, palms facing down on either side of you, close in towards the body. And see just if your fingertips can kind of skim the backs of your heels. That would be the correct position here and the correct distance. Now as you inhale, lift through the hips and lift the lower back and the upper back off the ground until you're just resting on your shoulders here. Pushing down through the hands, pushing down through the feet and the shoulders to feel that connection with the mat and to lift the hips higher. Then as you exhale, this should be very, very slow. As you exhale, very slowly, lower back, one vertebrae at a time down to the mat. Just as you touch down, straight away, inhale, back up, very slowly lifting through the hips. Exhale, lowering back down as slow as you possibly can. Following the breath here. As soon as you touch back down, inhale, lift up through the hips. Exhale, very slowly back down. Inhale, lift up through the hips. And exhale, back down. Slowly. Now inhale, and this time as you get to the top, I want you to hold. You can stay in this position, or a great way to open up the chest here, which is your next variation, would be to clasp the hands underneath the body. So this can help you. You can roll the shoulders back, clasp the hands together, and you can see the difference in my position here. My chest has completely opened up, completely lifted, and I'm so much further up from the mat than I was previously. Make sure to keep the knees closer together, hip width apart, so they're not opening out like this, doing whatever they like. You're holding that tension, that healthy tension in the body, holding the integrity of the posture. Just breathe. We're nearly there. Release the hands and very, very slowly lower back to the mat. The way we come out of the pose is just as important as how we get into them. Straighten the legs out, lengthen them out long, and point the toes away from you. Now bring the hands, you can make like a triangle position with the fingertips like this, and bring them underneath your sit bones. So you're actually sitting on top of your hands now. Your elbows are out on either side, pointing away with the toes, grounding down through the legs. As you inhale, push into the ground through your forearms, lift the chest, lift the full upper body off the mat, and then very gently placing the crown of your head on the mat. And stay here. This is just the beginner's variation. We're going to stay here, making sure that there is no pressure on your neck. If you're feeling any discomfort or pressure on your neck, then lift the head using the forearms and then come back down to the ground. Or else just stay here with me and just breathe. This is Matsyasana, fish pose. One of my favourite yoga asanas. Remembering if you're losing balance or the position doesn't feel right, to push away with the toes, point the toes, ground down through the legs. 3 more breaths here. Now pushing through the forearms to support the body as you lift the head, release the neck, come back down to the mat, and then release the hands. Now we're going to, bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees come out wide, okay? Let them drop. And you can put your hands on your abdomen here, or if you'd like to add a little bit of extra weight, you can bring your hands to the inside of your thighs or your knees just to help kind of weigh them down a little bit if you'd like that little bit of an extra stretch. Or else, just putting them on your abdomen. Just feeling that opening in the hips, the opening in the inner thighs. And just noticing if there's anywhere in your body that you're still holding tension. And if there is, just breathe into that area and let the breath do the work. Just as every inhale fills the body with breath, every exhale purifies us and removes any toxins or tension or unwanted energy. And now bringing the palms of the hands to the outsides of the knees and just using the fingertips to draw the knees back in together. You can hug them in towards the chest here. Give yourself a little hug, maybe rocking from side to side a little bit. And then lifting the feet, okay, so keeping the knees bent, lift the feet and take hold of the outer edges of the feet. This is happy baby position. And just take a few moments here. Make sure that the tailbone hasn't lifted right up off the ground like that, okay? So try and keep the tailbone quite grounded down. Maybe taking some gentle rocks from side to side like a baby would. Feeling that nice release in the lower back as you do. This is just a very gentle inversion, very calming. Great way to close out our practice. And now releasing the feet, bringing them back in together. Bringing the soles of the feet back to the mat. And then straightening the legs, but bringing them out wide to the outer edges of your mat. Rolling the shoulders back to make sure that they're grounded down. The arms come out on either side of us with the palms facing up, Shavasana, final resting pose. Just taking the time to notice any changes in the quality of your energy, in the quality of your breath, and the quality of your thoughts. Just be there. Now I'm going to close out this practice, but I'd like to invite you to just keep your eyes closed and stay here in Shavasana for as long as you need it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. When we're in Shavasana, it might not feel as if we're doing anything, compared to the other asanas, but it's so important to rest and to integrate and to feel and just be. So stay here as long as you like, but we're going to just keep our eyes closed. Bring your hands together in a prayer position at the center of your chest. Namaste.